and powerful professional identities. Its training methodology, fueled by real-world insights and a deep understanding of branding dynamics, provides a unique learning experience for all participants. You can't get such people anywhere else except in Power Monday. Welcome, John. I believe you're there ready, and we are ready to learn from you, and we are honored to be with you. Thank you. Fantastic. That's
All
fantastic.
right. Good morning, everyone. Yeah,
Good
so
morning.
I'm very much glad to be part of this Power Monday. Is it Power Monday or Great Monday? Yeah, it's a Power Monday. And thank you very much for that introduction. I love the part where you say that you love the part of Global Tilapia. Yes, we are also in the aquaculture industry. Among the things that we do. I know I don't have much time. I'll try to be very fast in this presentation. I'll also try to put up the presentation. Yeah, but I think it is important to really say that I'm very thankful for everyone that has joined in into this specific meeting. As Lady Noel, I think I got that right, as she said, and I echo into her words, is that into today's digital age, personal branding has become more important than ever. It is all about creating and managing your professional image and reputation to stand out in a competitive landscape. Whether you're a job seeker, entrepreneur, or professional looking to advance your career, understanding the power of personal branding can make a significant impact on your success. And that is the world that we live in today. So throughout this training, which will be very brief, I'll just have a few slides to share. We'll explore the evolution of personal branding and delve into key strategies and considerations to help you develop your own authentic and impactful personal brand. We'll discuss the importance of establishing consistency, which is very key as far as personal branding is concerned, which will also ensure that as we develop these, how do you also create valuable content, networking effectively, and continuously growing and adapting. These are some of the most important pillars in building to your personal brand. So I want to believe that by the end of this session, you'll have a solid foundation and practical tips to start building or enhance your personal brand. And you'll be equipped with the knowledge and tools to make a lasting impression in your professional endeavors. So I encourage all of you to actively participate, ask questions, and share your insights throughout the training. Let's make this a collaborative and engaging learning experience. It is always good when it is more interactive. And I'm just trying to, I hope I can share my screen, my presentation, as we dive into the fascinating world of personal branding. Hello, I hope my presentation is visible, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Very good, very good. And I think I'll just like to start by asking ourselves, what is personal branding? That is a question that goes to all of us. Maybe someone can just unmute and share his thoughts. As I said, I love it when it is more interactive. Maybe one person can just quickly tell us what personal branding is all about. In their own perspective.
Yeah. Personal branding is branding
okay.
you. The public image, building your public image. That's what I would pick it, according to what you'd like it to appear.
Thank you very much. I think for the interest of time, we may have a lot of interaction on the chat. Yeah, but I think it is basically as per what you're putting it. Personal branding, I say, is a process of intentionally shaping and managing the public perception of yourself as a brand. It involves showcasing your unique qualities, expertise, and values to differentiate yourself from others in your industry. Because we are all basically, we have a rich diversity of vocations here, I do understand. So the way you showcase your unique qualities, expertise, and values to differentiate yourself, there is a very important word there, differentiation, because it is differentiation that helps you to stand out within the industry that you represent. So I believe that a well-crafted personal brand can help you attract opportunities, build credibility, and establish a loyal following. Currently, in this modern age, we are talking about the power of digital marketing. For you to gain a loyal following, it depends with the differentiation that you make in the industry. And as I had done a few pointers here that maybe we can just, I'll not delve into each and every point, but I think it is important to mention that the personal branding is not about creating a facade or projecting a false image. It is about embracing your true self. And that is why we bring in the issue of authenticity. How authentic is your brand as a personal brand, or even as a brand that you represent? How authentic is it? Which helps you in terms of harnessing your strengths and communicating your unique value proposition, which is another keyword there, with clarity and confidence. So your personal brand should encapsulate your passions, very important, expertise, and the qualities that set you apart from others. So I'll not go through each and every thing that I've written in my presentation because I believe that I'll be able to share it later on. Yeah, but we will go through a few pointers here. We'll first look at the personal branding definition. We'll look at how you can be able to discover yourself. I think I have mentioned in my introduction about the authenticity. Number 3 is about your brand story. How do you craft your personal brand story? Then, of course, we look into the strategy, which the digital presence or the digital, the power of digital marketing comes in, and also looking at networking. And lastly, how do you engage? How do you evolve? And how do you adapt? Yeah, so thank you very much. I think we've had someone decode what personal branding is all about. And sorry, from my personal branding, I can still call it I'm a Rotarian, and the AG means assistant governor. I think for Zoom, I had not managed to change that. Sorry for that. Yeah, so one popular person, that is Jeff Bezos, said that your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. Internalize about these words. What do people talk about you when you're not there? That is what defines your personal brand. So, and as I said, it is a process of intentionally shaping and managing the public perception of yourself as a brand. Public perception, which involves showcasing your unique qualities, as I mentioned, expertise, values to differentiate yourself from the industry. So the differentiation, as I mentioned about, comes again here. And it is important to mention that a well-crafted personal brand can help you attract opportunities. Remember, opportunities seized tend to multiply. So any opportunities that we come across, which again, if you have a strong acumen of a strong brand as a personal brand, you are able to attract more opportunities. And the way or how you take advantage of these opportunities, it's how they tend to multiply at the end of the day. So also, it is important to mention that a well-crafted personal brand, it helps you in terms of building credibility. Why do people become so loyal to a specific brand? It is because of the credibility that you grow by ensuring that you have crafted a very well personal brand, which also established a loyal following, as I had mentioned. So there's an example here that I've given on this first slide about Elon Musk. We all know Elon Musk, and we also know his brands. So when you look at him as a personal brand, is that this is a very visionary entrepreneur who is behind very popular brands. So you can imagine the mix here. We're talking about the personal branding and also looking at the brands that this person are popular. So this guy, his personal brand embodies innovation. He's led in innovation when introduced the Tesla, when you look at the SpaceX, the solar. These are brands that really embodies his innovation acumen and also audacity and a relentless pursuit of groundbreaking solutions. So everybody now, from where we stand, is always looking forward to what is this guy up to. I think recently we all realized that our Twitter accounts changed. The logo changed to just something. Is it X? I think it was just X. And everybody is now looking forward on this space. When we talk about innovation, when we talk about audacity, as far as a relentless pursuit of groundbreaking solutions are concerned around innovation, most of us, I do believe, will think about this gentleman called Elon Musk. So this shows how strong personal branding can be created when you have crafted a very popular brand that can that helps you in terms of building that credibility, because everyone looks forward to what this guy is all about. And we'll see a lot. Actually, some of these brands, most of us may have not interacted with them. We're also moving into the AI. We're also going into the AI world. So there'll be a lot of innovation that we shall be expecting from this gentleman. Yeah, so it is also important. We talk about personal branding. It is important to start talking about personal SWOT, which really helps you in terms of understanding what your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities that you stand, and also looking at the threats that surrounds you. So I usually say that personal branding, SWOT analysis, which is very crucial for any person intending to build their personal brand. It is a self-assessment tool that helps you evaluate your SWOT. That is basically the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in relation to your personal brand. So when you do this analysis, it helps you, or it can provide valuable insights into areas where you can leverage your strengths, address your weaknesses, seize opportunities. As I mentioned, that when you seize opportunities, they tend to multiply and mitigate the threats. And maybe all of us, I believe, if you were to open up the floor again, you all have strengths that you can talk about. You have weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I've just looked at this from the solar system. If you look at it, we say that Jupiter is the biggest planet of them all. That in its own sounds as a strength. Opportunities, despite being red, that is Mars, is not a cold place. Actually, is a cold place. Actually, it is not hot, despite it being red. And of course, when you look at red, when you look at fire or things that are associated with red, they are always, we always think of them as being either hot or something of that nature. So it is an opportunity that, of course, despite Mars being red, the place is not hot. Weaknesses, if we look at Saturn, is a gas giant and has several rings. So it is very big in stature, but it's just a gas giant. Threats, Venus is from the sun. So of course, as we look into personal branding, whatever surrounds your industry or whatever the competition that you have within your industry is what you look at as the immediate threat. So maybe some of the examples that you may look at are maybe two per each. As a strength, when you look at yourself as a personal brand, maybe do you have exceptional communication skills? Because this is very fundamental in ensuring that you are able to build a very important personal brand or me brand. I like calling it a me brand. And also, do you have strong expertise in a specific industry or field? The expertise that I had mentioned there before, it's a very important element or a very important part of the SWOT analysis, because the more strength you have on your expertise, definitely builds a very a strength background as far as the SWOT analysis tool is concerned. So I think it is also important to look at it from a creative and innovative thinking. The world is evolving. How creative and innovative are you in your industry? He had mentioned in my bio that I'm also a managing partner in Global Tilapia. So Global Tilapia has been the first company to introduce the ready-to-eat fish. So this is a product that is vacuum packed. And once you buy it from the shelf, which will be available in the shelves near you in your major supermarkets or your preferred supermarkets, you'll just buy this product and within 5 minutes of microwaving, have a ready-to-eat fish. So it's innovation. How do you lead in innovation in your area? Be it in service industry, be it in the products that you produce, innovation cannot be overlooked, especially in this age and era. And also now, I think lastly on strengths is how do you adapt to, or your ability to adapt to new technologies and trends. That also helps you in terms of creating a very powerful personal brand. So in terms of the weaknesses, it is important for you to reflect and ask yourself in which areas do you lack experience, or do you have limited experience in certain areas that help you in terms of standing out in the industry that you basically represent. It is also important to talk about poor time management skills. That is one major weakness that has been observed as far as building your personal brand is concerned. And also in terms of the limited online presence or visibility. Someone mentioned about the importance of digital marketing or being on the online space, and not just being there, but being there in a consistent manner. If you are limited on online presence, regardless of what kind of a product that you're providing to the industry, it may not really create the traction that you're looking for if you're not very visible. Actually, even in modern retail, we usually say that visibility is what sells. And that is where you'll always find brands in the modern trade fighting for space, because it is all about the visibility. It is also important to reflect and maybe look at it from, are you overly self-critical or perfectionist tendencies? Do you have these as part of your weaknesses? And also the difficulty in delegating tasks. Effective managers or effective leaders delegate tasks, but they delegate them looking at the priorities of the specific task. As a leader, you don't have to feed yourself with all the work. You don't have to be the MD, the accountant, the HR, the supervisor, and also the worker. It is always good to delegate, because delegations helps you in terms of focusing on what is critical to you as a leader. So some of the opportunities, maybe that I can just mention one or two. You have to look at the emerging trends or technologies in your field. Very important. How is your industry evolving? Then as you look, and it is always good to apply something called the actuarial science, which we hardly or has hardly been applied in the industries, especially in Africa. And that is why, like, when COVID came, everybody was caught in a fix. Nobody was able to quickly turn around their businesses. Most of the businesses definitely went under because people are not able to quickly adapt to the emerging trends or technologies that are in this field. So it's always good to look at it from afar. You don't have to react when it happens. You have to always think and look for and ensure that you are able to apply all the necessary strategies to ensure that you are not affected in your industry. It is also important to look at some of the opportunities, especially for a personal brand, is the public speaking opportunities at industry events or webinars. Take advantage of such opportunities that are very rare, and this helps you in terms of propelling your personal brand and becoming, creating a very good opportunity for you, even for networking and also for business. It's also important to look at it from collaborative projects with influential individuals or organizations. You spend time looking at spend time having conversations with influential individuals or organizations that can help you impact on your personal brand or the me brand. Some of the threats that we look at is the intense competition in your industry or field. How intense is this competition? And of course, from a SWOT analysis, when we are able to reduce or to mitigate your threats and weaknesses and only focus on the SO, basically the strength and opportunities, you end up creating a very powerful brand. So look at the competition. What are they up to? Apply the actuarial science just to try and understand what are these brands or competitors up to as far as my industry is concerned. It is also important to look at, as a personal brand, are you getting negative publicity or online criticism? This really affects a brand, not only a personal brand, but any brand. These are some of the areas that largely impact on a brand. We also look at the legal or ethical issues related to your brand or industry. That can be a serious threat, and also lack of support or resources for personal development. But remember, this is just an example. Your personal branding SWOT analysis should be tailored to your specific SWOT, that is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, based on your unique skills, expertise, and circumstances. So these are just a few examples that you can look at. So moving on. So this is basically how do you come up with something you call as an evolution, your evolution. At the different stages in your life, you come up with, these are the only things that you can define, or the milestones that you can define as to what you want to achieve as far as your evolution is concerned towards creating a very powerful brand. So moving on, we would like to talk about discovering yourself. I know I don't have much time. I'll try to be as quick as possible. And this is where we talk about discovering your authentic self. Remember, authenticity is a very important aspect as far as personal branding is concerned. Yeah, so what we say is that to build a powerful personal brand, it's crucial to start by understanding and embracing your authentic self. And this, you start by asking yourself, who am I? Yeah. And what are my core values and beliefs as a person? What unique skills and experiences do I bring to the table? And lastly, how do I want to be perceived by others? It is important to mention that authenticity is the foundation of a strong personal brand. Embrace your individuality and let it shine through in everything you do. It is all about authenticity. In terms of discovering yourself and building your journey towards a powerful personal brand, it's all about the authenticity that you bring on the table. Oprah Winfrey, if we look at an example, her personal brand is built upon authenticity. And this, I believe, most of us will agree to it. Vulnerability and a genuine desire to empower others. She has consistently stayed true to herself, which has earned her a devoted following. Actually, if you look at her programs, she's been very consistent in terms of being authentic and also ensuring that she has a genuine desire that we can comfortably agree to, which has really helped her in terms of earning a very devoted following. Actually, people who follow brands devotedly, there is the aspect of authenticity that they see in those brands. Even the brands that you choose today, it is all about the authenticity of them. Yeah, so moving on, it is also good to look at another aspect about your brand story. You need to build your brand story, and you build your brand story by telling compelling stories. Someone said, I think that was Steve Jobs, that the most powerful person in the world, is a storyteller. Yes, the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda for an entire generation. So you might be having a very powerful brand, but if you're not talking about it, if you're not bringing it up, people may not know about it. So it is always good to be a storyteller, especially in the areas that you enjoy full expertise. Yeah, so every successful personal brand has a compelling story behind it. So think about your story. What kind of a compelling story do you have behind your personal brand? And your brand story should convey your journey. How has your journey been? And that is where you're talking about the milestone. How do you create a milestone, whatever, a journey that shows how far you've come as a brand? Also, in terms of the values and mission, remember your mission helps you in achieving your vision in a way that resonates with your audience. So remember, people connect with stories. So craft a narrative that inspires and captivates. It is very, very important. As you give out your story, the way you craft that narrative to create inspiration and captivate is what builds attraction. So very important as far as building your personal brand is concerned. And again, if you look at Richard Branson, we all know about this great guy. His brand story revolves around taking risks. He's a risk taker, challenging the status quo. Actually, that is what most of us will agree to as far as Richard Branson is concerned. And also pursuing adventurous endeavors. His stories of entrepreneurship and overcoming obstacles have made him an iconic figure. That is Richard Branson. Yeah, so that is what I had mentioned about Steve Jobs, that the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation. So moving on, how do you build a powerful personal brand? There must be a strategy because actually someone was saying that if you get into a football field, the teams are there, the ball is there, the referees are there, and there is no goalpost. It is not a match. So you must have clearly defined goals, which should be defined in your strategy. How do you achieve, or how do you achieve your objectives? It is by crafting a strategy that can help you in terms of building onto this. And we start by looking at the digital presence, where here we talk about establishing a very strong online presence. Remember, we are in that age and era whereby if you are not visible online, most likely as a brand, be it as a personal brand or the brands, physical brands, you're likely to lose it all. So it is important to look at the digital marketing as also, or the online presence as a key area to start with. And what we talk about is that in today's digital age, your online presence plays a vital role in shaping your personal brand. Leverage social media platforms, websites, and professional networks to showcase your expertise, share valuable content, and engage with your target audience. That is very, very important. As you build on your personal brand, you cannot separate it from the digital presence. And that is why we've seen people grow through digital presence, through content creation. And it does not just come overnight. It is all about the consistency and authenticity across all digital channels, which is very key. So it is up to you to make a choice of which platforms you want to be in. But again, as we mentioned, building a personal brand involves innovation, involves looking at the evolving technology around your area. This is what helps you in terms of building a powerful personal presence on the digital marketing. There is a guy called Gary Vaynerchuk. And this guy, if you research about him, he is known for his active presence on social media. Gary V has built a personal brand by delivering valuable content, sharing his insights, and basically which has created a very strong audience and a following across all his platforms. So also find out about, when you talk about the digital presence and being on the digital presence, look at people or figures that are doing very well on that space, and also try to come up with a strategy around digital presence that helps you in terms of ensuring that you are able to reach to your target audience. Because remember, when you talk about digital presence, everybody is on this space, but how do you get to your target audience? It is by ensuring that the platforms, the content, actually, when I talk to my team, I talk about the content calendar. You have to come up with a proper plan in ensuring that whatever content you share in your digital platforms is valuable content, because it is another area that can quickly bring you down, especially when there's a lot of negativity around your brand. This can definitely kill your brand faster than the word or negative word of mouth. Yeah, as we talk about the strategy, it is important to mention that networking is very vital aspect of personal branding. Building meaningful relationships with other entrepreneurs, industry experts, and influencers can open door to new opportunities, collaboration, and valuable insights. So who do you relate with? Which kind of organizations, groups, or other other groups are you in? Networking, and someone mentioned that your network is your net worth. That was someone called Porter. He mentioned that your network is your net worth. The effective, if you have a very effective network, it definitely builds on your network. So as part of your strategy, you have to look at how do you build on the networking, which is very vital for personal branding. The more you network and the more the meaningful your content is, that is how you're able to build a strong personal brand, which definitely, as I mentioned, open doors to new opportunities, collaborations, and insights. So it is also important to look at it from, do you attend industry events that are related to your field? Join professional communities and make genuine connections to expand your network. So you'll find there are definitely communities for specific vocations. Maybe it's doctors, it's lawyers, it's you name it. Ensure that you belong to some of these professional communities, and also make a very genuine connection to expand on that network. Yeah, so moving on, when you talk about engaging, evolving, and adaptation, it is important to talk about the consistency and professionalism. It is important to mention that consistency is key when it comes to personal branding. Ensure your brand elements, such as your visual identity, messaging, and tone, align across all platforms. Establish a professional image that reflects your expertise and values. Because it is very important, consistency, as I mentioned, be it on the online space, the consistency, and also ensuring that the content is valuable. These are some of the things that build towards a professional outlook of a professional brand, personal brand at the end of the day. So, and that's why I'm mentioning that consistency and professionalism build trust and credibility in the eyes of your audience. Again, we are repeating some of these words: credibility, professionalism, consistency. These are some of the key elements or the key ingredients towards building your personal brand. So someone said that your personal brand is a promise to your clients, a promise of quality, consistency, competency, and reliability. It is always important to internalize on these words, because that is what you promise your clients at the end of the day. Yeah, so as we talk about engaging and providing value, We are talking about engaging and value creation, which is very essential for a successful personal brand. Actively engage with your audience by responding to comments. Yeah, if you don't open your door to feedback, this means that at the end of the day, a brand may not really sail through, because we all grow. Any brand that has made it through in the industry has made it through because of opening their doors to critical feedback. You should not only listen or hear what you want to hear about your brand. It is always good to open doors to feedback, critical feedback per se, which ensures that you are able to engage, you are able to correct on areas that have been mentioned, which helps you in terms of coming up with the proper personal brands characteristic. So it is all important to participate in discussions and provide valuable insights. Also share your knowledge. It could be through blog posts, videos, or podcasts, ensuring establishing yourself as a trusted resource in your industry. So how effective are you in your industry? Can people rely on you as a brand to provide insights within the industry that you represent? This is because someone said that the key to successful leadership today is influence, not authority. Kindly take note of this. Successful leadership is all based on influence. The influence you create in your industry is what defines a successful leader. It is not authority, it is influence. And influence, as we'll all agree with me, it is very easy to build strong influence through the online space, through talk about the digital space, because as you become reliable, you're able to build a very strong following. So it is important to always remember about influence, which is very successful, and not authority. Yeah, for example, there is someone called Marie Folio. She has a very popular online show. I hope maybe some of the entrepreneurs have interacted with Mary TV, and her engaging social media presence. So she consistently provides valuable content, empowering entrepreneurs and creatives. So you can also build a channel. You can come up with your own channel, a program. It could, the digital space has enabled us to use very minimal resources and still be very effective without having to spend a lot of money to be on above the line media to build yourself as a brand. Actually, if you look at some of the content creators that have made it very big in the industry today, they've made it through online digital marketing. The online spaces, the platforms that have been created, and these you only require very minimal investment. And especially most of the investment that you put here is your time and your creativity and the consistency to ensure that you build your personal brand. So it is also important to mention that personal branding is not a static process. Yeah, it is not static because the world is evolving. So it requires continuous evolution and adaptation. Where I say that it is always important to stay updated with industry trends, acquire new skills, and embrace change. Yeah, because we're evolving. So a lot of things are changing. Some of us were using the radio cassettes. Actually, the current generation, the generation Z, they might be wondering what some of those products are when they look at a radio cassette, when they look at even the DVD quickly being phased out. So personal branding is not static. You have to keep on evolving as the world evolves. So by evolving your personal brand, you remain relevant and continue to resonate with your audience in a fast-paced business environment. Charles Darwin said that it's not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Because change, if you don't accept change, actually there's usually a popular saying that change will change you. If you look at the invention of the Uber business or the most of the taxi drivers that were doing their traditional business, you know, they were protesting, they were demonstrating, but sooner or later, but the time for change as far as mobility and requesting for a taxi on need basis and at a very, with a lot of convenience and with a very affordable budget, the time had come. So despite of how much they had protested, the time for change had come. So even in our personal industries, as we build on our personal brands, it is always important not to remain static. You're not a tree. Move with time, change with times, and ensure that you remain abreast of the competition by taking advantage of the technological advancement and changes in your industry. And for a good example is this guy we call Jeff Bezos. So throughout his career, Jeff Bezos adapted his personal brand from an e-commerce pioneer to a visionary shaping the industry or the future of space exploration through Blue Origin. Research about this guy. You'll be so much inspired by what he has done in that industry. I can see I have a few minutes. I would like to basically conclude. And in conclusion, it is important to look at strategies of how you unleash your personal brand. Personal branding is a powerful tool for entrepreneurs to differentiate themselves, build credibility, and attract opportunities, as I mentioned. So in conclusion, what I'm saying is that by embracing your authenticity and unique strengths, crafting a compelling brand story, leveraging the digital landscape, cultivating a strong network, and consistently providing value, you can unleash the full potential of your personal brand. One of the quotes is that your personal brand is what sets you apart. It's what makes you unique and memorable. Your personal brand, that is what makes you memorable at the end of the day. So you have to embrace it. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you all the best on your personal branding journey. Remember, your brand is your legacy. Thank you very much for giving me your ears. We shall interact more, maybe in the near future, but I wish you all the best as you build on the journey of your successful personal brand. Back
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. I believe that in this time and season, we just had to have you come to talk to us about personal branding. And there's something that you have said that is really, really profound. Even as you're building that company, that business, your personal branding is so very important, because before people buy your product, we buy people. If I'm coming to buy your product, it is you that I am buying. So you have to be very careful with even you as a person, how you are branding yourself, like your social medias and everything. How are you doing that? So any question? Any question in the comment section? I've not seen any question. And there's something that, there's a quote that OPP has written there, that if you do not change, you become extinct. That is from the book Who Moved My Cheese. I've read that book, Who Moved My Cheese, several times. Guys, you need to read that book. And I think one thing that COVID also taught us is to be malleable, to be easy, to pivot. Because Faith has a question. Okay, yes, Faith. Faith, kindly go ahead. Hi.
So I have a question. The speaker said that sellers are good at personal branding. So is it that introverts will have it so hard to build their personal brands? And if so, how can they try to build their personal brands? Thank you.
An additional question from Melvin, maybe they can be joined together. Where do personal branding and thought leadership meet, if at all they meet? podcast
And
again.
another question from Melvin is personal branding a do-it-yourself activity, or are there brand managers out there? So back to you, Mr. Speaker, kindly.
Yeah, so I think there is an important question that has been asked here in regards to, I think I'm back on. Yeah, in regards to personal, and I want to say that they do intersect in several ways. Let's explore the relationship between the two and looking at it from what you've just gone through this morning. So personal branding as a foundation, this means that personal branding refers to the process of establishing and promoting an individual's unique identity, values, expertise, and overall image, as we mentioned. So it involves crafting a consistent, compelling narrative around oneself. On the other side, thought leadership is a strategy that builds on personal branding by positioning an individual as an expert and authority in a specific field or industry. So when you look at it from a personal branding perspective, yes, they do intersect. Let us look at it let's look at the thought leadership as a component of personal branding. Thought leadership is an integral part of personal branding. By sharing the expertise, insights, and innovative ideas, individuals can establish themselves as thought leaders in their respective domains. So this, at the end of the day, enhances, their personal brand by showcasing their knowledge, credibility, and ability to provide valuable perspectives and solutions. Again, they do intersect. Lastly, let's look at it from a content creation and sharing. A significant overlap between personal branding and leadership and thought leadership lies in the creation and sharing of relevant content. Both involve producing high quality content such as articles, blog posts, videos, you name it, and also updates that demonstrate expertise and engage with the target audience. So through content creation, individuals can establish their personal brand while also establishing their thought leadership by offering valuable insights and perspectives. So if we can look, there are so many examples that we can use to look at how these two intersect, but the answer is yes, they do intersect. And I think in summary, just to finalize on that question, it is good to say that personal branding and thought leadership are very closely intertwined. Personal branding establishes an individual's unique identity, while thought leadership positions them as an expert and authority within their field. So there's a very strong correlation between the two. So both strategies leverage content creation, trust building, and influence to enhance an individual's reputation and expand their reach. So yes, it does, these two do intersect. The other question was about how do introverts build their personal brand? There are various ways that we can look at it, or there are various tips. Maybe I can only look at a few, maybe 2 or 3. Number one, define your brand. It is always good to start by identifying your unique skills. As an introvert, what are your unique skills? What are your passions? And what are your values? Determine what makes you stand out and what you want to be known for. The self-reflection will provide a clear direction for your personal brand. So start by defining your brand, because personal branding applies to both introverts or extroverts. It cuts across the industry. So the other thing, I think it is also important to engage in meaningful conversations. Yes, introverts tend to thrive in a one-on-one or small group settings. It is good to take advantage of this by engaging in meaningful conversation with industry peers. It could be mentors, it could be potential clients, etc. Attend networking events or join online communities, as I have mentioned in my presentation, where you can contribute thoughtfully and build a connection. Maybe one more is that you can develop thought leadership as an introvert. Use your introspective nature to delve deeply into your area of expertise. Become an expert by conducting thorough research, yeah? Staying updated on industry trends, again, as we mentioned, and sharing your unique insights. Write articles. You could write articles because it is not all the time that you're required to speak, to a group of people or to a wide audience, as we have here. You can write articles. You can, give presentations or participate in panel discussions to establish yourself as a thought leader in your field. I think also it is good to remember that building a personal brand is not about changing who you are, yeah, as an introvert. It's about harnessing your strengths, being intentional in your actions, and authentically sharing your expertise in the world. There's someone who was asking about when you are talking about personal building, is it a do it yourself or are there any other strategies? Yes, we have mentors in the industry. You could look at image consultants that can help you in terms of building your personal brand, but also research and help yourself throughout the whole process. Thank you. I hope I've answered the 3 questions.
Yeah. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. I think for the interest of time, any other question, we'll be tackling it on WhatsApp. So I call upon Caroline Wanyonyi to kindly give a vote of thanks.
Yeah. I would start by, sorry. Caroline Wanyonyi is my name. I would start by appreciating the honor to give a vote of thanks. Let me start by thanking all of you for joining Power Monday. It is really great for having you here. We are because you are. A warm welcome and thanks to our esteemed speaker, Mr. John, for gracing us with insightful and inspiring session on the art of personal branding. Your insights have really left a mark and an indelible mark to all of us gathered here today. Through your eloquent and real-world examples, you have illuminated in us the significance of cultivating a strong personal brand in a dynamic and really competitive world. Your mention of the words consistency, reliability, authenticity, and just being there as a personal brand have really created an impact in all of us, and we are going to work towards making ourselves better. Thank you so much to the organizers of Power Monday. Keep doing what you're doing and inviting great speakers like John. God bless you all. Thank you. Good day and a blessed week to all of you.